Page 42, Sounds from the Gumdrop Factory. It's just a fun little piece. Eighth note's going crazy, but that's all right. 1 and 2 and we can deal with those. Let's look it over. 4 lines long, treble and bass clef, 4/4 time signature. We know all about all that by now, I hope. And as I said, we got eighth notes. So let's take this one hand at a time, make sure we know what each hand is doing before we try and put them together. The right hand is third finger on E here. That puts the hand here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's about it for the first 2 lines. You end the second line here, and they put in the word move. Isn't that sweet? The point is, at measure 5, you ought to be up here. So you're just going to lift up and move up. You don't need the word move. You got to learn to look at the music and realize, oh, I got to move. So after you play the C anyway, you're looking ahead to see what's coming, I hope, and you realize you got to move. You just lift up and move. You're here. It's just an F chord. That's all. So measure 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and. Whoops, what happened there? Okay, let's talk about this. It's the same hand position. We're just going down the keyboard. That's all. There's different techniques on this one. The one that I have found the most effective. It takes a little practice, but it will really help you when the music gets tricky. It really will. Is because I'm in the same hand position on each of these. Same position. I aim one finger and let the others just go along. I don't worry about the others. Now, which finger? Well, you should be able to aim any finger. So for practice, take them all. Start with the thumb. Okay, and then aim that, and just leave your hand in this position. I'm focusing on the thumb. I'm not focusing on the other fingers. That's just... Okay. Or try the middle finger. Here. Or the little finger. See, most of the time it'll be the melody that I would focus on if there is a melody, and most of the times it's going to be the little finger. Here, you could call it the little finger. Maybe, the little finger is the melody, and focus on that. It's good practice. Here, you don't have to go that fast. Take it slow. We're lifting down, up and down, each one. Now, it's important when you do this that you flex at the wrist. Don't tense up and start doing this, because the tendency when we do this maneuver is we get tense because we want to hold the hand there. We don't want to move it, so we tense up. No. If you'll flex at the wrist, you can't tense up. That's not the way we're built. So here, leave the R where it is and move the hair, flex at the wrist and come down. You have to exaggerate it. Don't hurt yourself, but exaggerate. When you actually do it, it's a little motion. But see, and just bump, 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 bump. Just with the wrist. That'll keep you loose. Now, left hand. Left hand's got eighth notes all over, and for the most part, it's just the C and the G, and just go back and forth. I'm just alternating here, just rotating the hand. Until you get to the last 2 measures, and they threw you a curve. They do that sometimes. So on the next to the last measure, last beat, the C sharp, just come up, same fingers. You need to learn to do this without looking at the keyboard eventually. You can feel this going up in one key like that. Like that. A better fingering. They're still got you using beginner's fingerings. But a better fingering here is alternate 5 and 4 on the bottom. Here. You can go ahead and use thumb on both of these if you want, but still it's 5 and 4. 4. You don't have to do that. I'm just trying to get you to think about a little more advanced fingerings. I'm going to start suggesting them as we go through here. You can't always just stay in this nice, neat 5-finger position all the time. I'm going to put the hands together here. Well, these eighth notes in the left hand is going to keep you steady. Follow those. second measure. Here, here. You know, using different fingers. That throws some people. We'll just go over and over and over it a few hundred times and you get it. Same thing in measure 4. Okay, and then measure 5, you get the chords. Oh, good grief. What's this? Well, again, use the technique I taught you. Focus on one finger. And the left hand should be automatic. You shouldn't even have to think about the left hand now. So you can focus on what the right hand is doing. The last 2 measures at the bottom, well, the right hand's tied all the way. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Focus on the left hand. That's all right. If you're seeing things in this music that's confusing you, you really need to go back and review everything again. Because there's nothing new here. We've had it all before. It should be pretty straightforward to you. So please review everything again. Go through the lessons again. Just take your time in this because everything here should be pretty clear. It looks ugly, but when you really get into looking at it, piece of cake. Now once you have the notes and the rhythms, you go back and work out the hesitations. So this left hand is, these 8th notes are steady all the way through. Now we can think about the articulation. On the staccatos, it's wrist, short. It's a very small motion too. It's not a big thing. It's a small motion. The half notes, connect them. You can lift up after that half note before you play an 8th note. You can disconnect those. That's fine, but for the half notes themselves, connect them. Like so. Measure 6, where the almost have to play them staccato anyway, but that. There's a retardando there, you slow down, and then the dynamics, they apply to the melody, which is the right hand. These things got to be soft in the background, and that can be hard sometimes because when you're busy, when you're constantly doing something, the tendency will be to play them out. You'll just do it automatically. So you have to make sure, beware of it, and keep the left hand soft. We want to hear mezzo forte is sort of out here. Keep these soft in the background. And you're staying there for the first 2 lines, and then in the 3rd line you go up to loud. You can come up a little bit in the left hand, but it's got to still be in the background. The last line is moderately loud again. Now, the last 2 measures. You're going to play that half note C, hold it down for 6 for the rest of the piece. It's going to die away on its own. It gets softer. Sort of follow that in the left hand. You're soft. Can you get, how soft can you get? And don't use the soft pedal. You got to do it with the hands now because you're also slowing down. Well, they say give you a P at the end for soft. I told you already be soft, so you really need a PP, 2 Ps for very soft. Not twice as soft as soft, just softer than soft. Just super soft, not super soft. That's softer than soft. Yeah, I don't know. Speed, well, how fast do you want your Gumdrop machines to go? Not too slow because then these half notes just drag. So, but not too fast. We don't want this, I don't want to blow a fuse here. Just somewhere in the middle, it's comfortable. So you learn it, and when you're ready, come back and let's play it together very slowly and double check all the notes and rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics and play it all about the same, but I will do the staccatos. So I'll give us 4 counts. Now when we go this slow, and the staccatos, you have time here to put your hand on the keys before you do the staccato. So you can play it and bounce off each time, and you put your hand back on the keys. That's the technique I'm going to use for this because it's so slow. But when you speed it up, you can't do that. You got to come from above, but it's a small motion. Don't wait. But here I'm on the key and I'm bouncing off each time. 1 and 2 and ready and go and